Today I'm changing the valve stem oil seals on this diesel Saab 9.3. I don't know what engine size, could be a 1.7, I don't know. Here's the soggy cardboard because it's pouring down today. So I thought that looks pretty good. I wanted to use one. I'll show you the real thing. It's not quite set up here, but this bolts to the head. This comes with it. You don't get the bolts, so you just have to put your own bolts in. So that goes in there, and then why I like this one is I've used a different one in the past that I had to use. It had a lever. When I levered it down, and then you had to do all the work with one hand, but I did manage to get the lever under an armpit and hold it and work away, but it is fiddly enough without trying to hold stuff with your arm, with your armpit. But this one, all I've done is slid them to the side, because they just go through to the same setup on both sides. And these are adjustable. You see here, if you had to lean it one way or the other, this can lean one way or the other. It didn't need to on this one. But these basically just go in, and this slides to where you're going, and you would just put it on the top and screw it down. But because it stays on it, I really like that a lot better for doing this job. So yeah, I thought I would show you what I'm doing. Here's one of them, the last one to go on actually. Here's one of the old ones, so I'll just show you here the difference. I don't know if you can see through there. It's because of the smoke in the morning that we're doing this. One thing I will say that I almost forgot, because I've done a few cylinder heads, I usually take the valves out and I change these with regular pliers because there's no valve in the way, but of course the cylinder head's still on the car, so you're going to need these pliers. I'm glad I got them. They didn't get a grip and pull them off straight away, but that could have just been a fault with these valve stems being really stuck on there. So that's the tool I got, the make. That's what it does. It's done a good job though. I'll show you what I've done here. I didn't use in this kit, give a few attachments. Covered in rain now. You get a few attachments, extensions. I didn't need all that. And you also get the hose to go into the spark plug hole. But because this is a diesel, it doesn't have a spark plug hole. So what I've done is I'm just resting them on the pistons. They only drop a couple of mil. You can see them drop. But you need to make sure that the piston's at TDC. So what I've done to do that was I went to the crank and I marked it at TDC on the bottom pulley. Put a mark, and then I went straight across through the pulley and put another mark at the other side of the pulley. So when I spin that round, that means the center two, because it's a 4-cylinder, the top two will be down and the center two will be up. So that's how I've got this lined up. And it's worked. I can't use that attachment on this diesel, so I've just got the easy job there. And another thing is you need to have a tool for, everything's getting covered in rain, you need to have a tool to push them down. This one just sits on here nice, where it doesn't press the rubber, it's just the very outer edge. That's a 12mm half-inch drive socket. The 3/8 drive weren't big enough to go over the valve stem that's sticking up through the cylinder head, so I had to use these, but these are fine, and I just put them on and then I tap them down until it just changes the sound a little bit. I'll just show you. Move this out of the way. So, hammer. I don't really batter it. I don't want to crush these new ones. The whole point is to stop a leak, so that's it, just started, and then you hear the sound just change a bit. That last one or two there, same here, and that's it done. So now I've just got to put the springs on and the collets. I lost one of the collets, but luckily I found it. I started to take the front end off it, so it goes right down this hole. What I do is I take the spring and the collet. Luckily this is just an 8 valve, it would be a lot more of a pain if it was a full-on 16 valve. If I put that in there, and then that one can go in there. I just slide this out the way to do the, whilst I was grabbing the valve stem, oil seal out. I just decided to slide this out the way. This fits these ones okay. I don't know if we're going to get a situation where this won't fit in. I know my old Passat had a 20 valve engine, a 4-cylinder 20 valve, and that one I wouldn't think this would fit on the inlets. They were really small. That was a bit of a pain. I had to use a motorbike attachment and put it on the end, but that wasn't with this tool. That was with another one. So that's it basically. Because I can press that down and it stays down, it makes it much easier and much safer for putting these collets in. And then I just grab the collet and I put grease on it so it doesn't fall off a little screwdriver. I'll show you that in just a second. And then just to build it up, make sure I get the piston at the right place first. We're not going to hit the valves now because there's no camshaft. I'm not going to hit the valves at this moment. It's just when I build it up to put the belt on, I need it to be at number 4 and number 1 cylinder at TDC instead of 2 and 3 at TDC. So that just screws down there, like that. As long as you give yourself enough clearance to get where you can see the grooves in the valve. You see, that's how it was and that's how it is now. I don't need to hold it, so it makes it much easier. I got 2 screwdrivers. Everything's getting soaked today, so this is how I ended up dropping one of those collets. But I just get a grease. There's just grease on there. You can't see it. It's that high melting point grease. Take a collet. Which one am I in? That one. Oh, and these trays are kitchen utensil trays. They work out quite handy for putting parts in and organising it. My wife got them for me. So, just put a dot of grease in there. And then, maybe if I got the oil off this in the first place, it would help it stick. Then I'd put more on to help it stick onto there, onto the back. This is where you want to watch it. At least if it falls off, I want an idea where it goes. Move this stuff out the way whilst I do this. Then that goes on there. And then it's going to be the grease that helps it stick onto the valve. Very fiddly. This is why I'm glad there's only 8 of these valves to do. That's it on there. And then when I get it on this side, I can rotate it round to the back of the valve stem, like that. Now I've got room to put another one on the front. Same thing again, another dot of grease. Make sure it's the right way up because they are tapered. Sometimes being mobile is great. I mean, the sun's coming out now, and I've noticed that down here it certainly dries up quite quick when the sun comes out. So, the same again. That one slides into there, believe it or not. There we go. That's it. That one's in there. So the both are in, but what I'm doing is I'm going to hold this. See that bit that goes down and holds the valve down, this piece here? I'm going to hold that just to help stop it sliding about and just unscrew the bolt. This is so much better than when I tried to do it with that lever idea under my armpit. That seems to be loose. I don't know if I'm all the way up yet. No, the collet moved there. So that's why I'm glad I held on to that. I've got to tighten that one back down. One of the collets wasn't quite in line. Some people call them keepers or collets. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's the same thing. Same thing. So they're just keepers. They keep the top of the valve in place. Now, I put that much grease on there that I couldn't see that it wasn't quite in line. Now it is. It just helps slide them back in there. Both are fine to go in. Just take your time when you're doing this. Don't look around to see what everyone else is up to. You just watch what you're doing for this part of the job. There. So that's it. that one's on, I'm happy with that now. I'll just move this out of the way. Yeah, totally out of the way, there you go. It's fully down. Can get some of this grease off there. Didn't need that grease in the way now, but that's on. We've just got the last one to do. Put the camshaft in. There is one thing that you see where the camshaft sits. We get the cam carriers here. That's the top bit of it. They're all in the same place they came off. But it's got these dowels, locating dowels. I had to take those two out over here to fit that. This one had a different setup at the end, so I was okay there. But it wasn't long enough to go from side to side, and those dowels are in the way. But I'll put those dowels back in when I build it up. So they're going back in, but I did need to move them. So that's how you do it. I've got them all, just got to build it up. But this is what I'm doing today. Looks like the sun's finally coming out, although it looks like it's getting quite low still. So I've not got much more of it. When I get this finished, thanks for watching.